honest.
Yeah. But that's like also a good thing for, and by the way, this isn't like a toxic friend or something. This is a good person.
Yeah.
And so, when you stick up for people who have been there for you, it feels right. It makes sense. Not because you're expecting anything back from these people. It's just more like your moral compass guides you this way and it feels right. So you're going to do what you truly believe is right.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's just how it is. Like in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. We have Ed Park, VP here once again.
What's up?
Last time that we were hanging out, we were talking about this, and I don't know if this is like a super LA thing, but I think we're talk about our weight a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but we just did a podcast not too long ago, and it's weird because once you lose weight, you do start to realize when you gain it because of we buy skinny clothes. We're talking about this shit. We're like, oh, I lost this weight. I could wear some skinny clothes.
Yeah.
And then you buy all the stuff that fits super nice and, you're a lot more athletic. You feel good. And then recently for me, I started working out again because we were hanging out last time. We were eating at Denny's like a bunch of fat asses. It's a funny story. There's another funny story about that too. We were at Denny's and then we're like, oh yeah, I've been gaining weight. But, I see him ever intermittently and I don't really notice these things.
Yeah.
And then I remember just after we had that conversation, I was like, yeah, I think I gained some weight too. And so about a couple of weeks ago, I decided to work out again. And I had this shirt, this sweat wicking shirt that I usually wear for when I work out. Well, let me tell you something, man. If you've ever seen a human turn into a fucking seal, like I put this shirt on, right? And it's, I don't know if this is true. I might be making this up, but I could hear like a squeegee against like
the air pockets under your like armpits.
Yeah. And then it was just molding over my man breast so well. And I could see every crevice in my body. I'm like, bro, did I gain this much weight?
Yeah. Like the flesh is coming out of the sleeves and shit.
Yeah. And people will leave comments and they're like, dude, you gained weight. And I'm like, fuck, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
They were right.
You don't know how wide angle lenses look. Like,
I was like,
man,
dude, the camera adds 26 pounds, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't know shit. They do know shit.
Yeah, they do. You can see it.
Yeah, that shirt, man, it's not embarrassing, but it was just so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I was so stubborn. Guess what? I wore that shit to the gym.
Hey, if you can rock it with all the confidence that you need, then who cares what other people say?
People are like, dude, he's really buff.
Yeah. No, I gained some weight too. I gained 30 pounds since last summer, bro.
How much were you weighing then?
Well, I had a snag because of a mental health issue.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to talk about it yet, but I'm like waiting, like building up to talk about this event. But at that point, I was doing well with keto, fasting, and working out. I think I could do like 15 pull-ups at that point. Then I had a really bad mental health crisis, and I like couldn't eat. When I put food in my mouth, I felt like throwing up.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because the stress and the depression I was going through at that time didn't allow me to like just swallow food. So I actually got down to like 136. And I was frail.
Yeah.
I felt frail too. Like I didn't move around a lot and stuff too. And in order for me, like I knew looking at myself in the mirror, this was an unhealthy skinny. I was like, I have to eat. And so I had to stop doing keto, So I started trying to put more food in my mouth, and it was very little at a time. And before you know it, I couldn't stop myself. I kept eating.
Hey, dude, let me tell you something, dude. Carbs is a gateway drug, bro.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Dude, it's like a vampire that's just been drinking pig's blood for thousands of years.
I just started with rice. And next thing I'm eating fucking cheesecakes on the weekend.
You're so funny, dude. I don't give a fuck if you guys don't give a fuck about these conversations. This is fat people talk. So just, I've been watching what I eat. I still eat what I want, just portion controlling it, right?
Yeah.
But one night, Edric and Z come over and they wanted to celebrate my birthday.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, let's just, what do you want to eat? And I was like, oh, there's like, some Chinese food spots. So I kind of like racked up a list of stuff. And then Ed's like, I don't really want to eat Chinese. I go, what about pizza? I just looked at him. I'm like, Don't say that. Don't say those forbidden words here.
Like, I can't say no.
Dude, I ate this pizza, and when I remember when I bit into it, and the reason why it's not like I can't eat pizza, but pizza generally is one of the worst foods you could have for yourself. Mm-hmm. Extremely high fat, and extremely high carbs. It's just it's one or the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But pizza is just one of those just demonically delicious things that you can have.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if this pizza was good, but I ate that shit. I was like, hey, who the fuck's the chef? Yeah. What the fuck? Who's the chef? I was so happy eating that pizza. Right. But guess what? Because I was eating, foods that are like whole foods that are healthier for you, I got fucking sick. Because I've been eating, I don't want to say clean. I want to say I've been eating correctly.
Yeah.
For the past couple weeks, and I ate that pizza, and the next day I had fucking choro, baby. I had fucking diarrhea, salsa.
That's the weird thing about that kind of shit, like this carb overload hangover.
Yes.
Right? Like where you just like I can have too much like Coca-Cola and feel sick too.
Yeah.
Or like, you eat, oh my God, just the other week, I found this bag of candy in my cupboard. It was from Halloween. And I fucking tore that shit up.
I'm telling you, man, I don't know what it is. But Mariel, during the time when she has her period, she always craves dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And she's like, dude, I'm saving this for my period. Her period came. There was no chocolate. I ate it.
Oh, shit.
I ate all of it.
Oh,
I
fuck.
ate all of the chocolate. And I was going into, dude, every day I was making pasta. In the morning, I woke up and I made pasta carbonara. That's eggs, that's guanciale fat, and just a shit ton of pecorino romano.
Yeah.
And this creamy egg cheesy sauce. I ate that shit fucking like 6 days in a row because I was obsessed with it. I couldn't stop eating it.
Right.
Black pepper, just delicious. And then next thing you know, my fucking shirt fits like a wetsuit. Like, what is this nonsense? Why is it so hard to fucking lose weight, but gaining it's like that?
Right. Like
literally like this.
It was Steven's birthday last weekend, and I tried on some button-ups, and those buttons were just about to pop. Couldn't wear them.
I have these pants that usually fit big on me. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, these are my emergency pants. They're my pants now. It's not for an emergency. This is the only one that fits me.
Yeah, dude. We're just back to stretchy pants now.
Yeah. And I measured my waist the other day, and my waist during the time. And I know this sounds like me being obsessive about, having a small waist and being chiseled and fit. It's not that. I realized how I was gaining weight because how I felt.
Right. Yeah.
Like I felt a little gross. My skin was getting bad. And I'm like, this is like the sign of me, having an unhealthy lifestyle. I measured my waist. I was at 35. I'm like, dude, I'm supposed to be at 33, 32. Right. I was like, oh shit. I gained 3 inches in my waist. Yeah. Lo and behold, I weighed myself. I was 226.6. And I was like, oh shit, I gained about 20 pounds.
Yeah.
And then, which I already knew, but I think to me, it wasn't anything because I was just wearing like oversized shirts. And when you wear oversized shirts, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Well, when your oversized shirt starts to fit like a fucking athletic tee, that's when you know there's an issue. And then I just started like, okay, I gotta, check what I eat. And it got to a point for a moment, dude, I thought I was gonna be vegetarian for a little bit. You know what's weird? So check this shit out. I've been grilling a lot, but I started eating meat, just, I won't say copious amounts, but just, beef and whatever steaks. And I started eating beef and it started making me nauseous.
Really?
For a second there, I was scared I was gonna be vegetarian.
Damn.
I started freaking out.
Okay. So like me, like I ate pork belly for like 3 years straight.
Yeah.
Right? Doing keto and shit.
Just a high fat, easiest thing to eat. Yeah.
So last year, like when I went through that and I tried to eat pork belly again, not nausea. I just wanted to throw up.
What is that? Because that was the weird thing when I had to up my protein.
Yeah.
Right. I was getting nauseous eating the meat. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, am I going to be vegetarian?
Oh shit.
Bro, I legit.
Yeah.
I teared up a little bit.
You had to like look into what vegans.
Yeah. I was like, do I have to not eat meat? Yeah. But then it went away and I was fine. I'm back to just.
I just had pork belly for the first time since last summer. Today before I got here.
For real?
Yeah. Like that thick, fat ass Costco kind, because that's the only kind I buy.
Yeah.
I finally cooked it and I ate it and I was like, oh shit, I can eat it again. I can get back into keto.
Sometimes like when I talk about my weight and it's not about the weight, it's just being healthier. Sometimes it reminds me of that in White Chicks when she was trying to get dressed And she's like, look at this back fat Betty. And I feel like I'm doing that to myself sometimes. But yeah.
I do that. I do it all the time. I grab my tits when I'm fasting. And I'm like, listen, you fat motherfucker, there's so much energy here. Yeah. Like you can literally and I'll grab my stomach, man. So like, I used to have a huge belly when I was up to 240. Mm-hmm. I actually lost 12 inches. Because when I was that big, I had to get tailored shirts because I'm only 5'7", 5'8", but I'm so wide. My shirts would go down to my knees to get a large, extra large. So I had to get these tailored shirts to shorten the torso, but keep it wide, and also help like contour it so it's a little bit more V-ish,
It's so funny when you're hella fat, you're trying to get contouring stuff, but it's like, just lose the weight, fatty.
Yeah, exactly. I spent $800 on these shirts, these tailored shirts.
Jesus.
Yeah, a whole set of them. That's what I thought to myself. And after I lost the weight, I was like, I can't believe I spent the money to tailor shirts instead of just losing fucking weight.
Yeah, and you could have saved money by not eating.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I couldn't give up one, so I put more money into the other. But yeah, like I'd lost. So I went to go get shirts tailored again, and they measured my stomach. I lost 12 inches off my stomach, right? But then, like I had like a very saggy stomach.
Yeah.
So where my skin had grown and stretched. But this past year, I've gained 30, 35 pounds. Like you don't see it on my face as much, right? It goes straight to my stomach. My belly expands first, like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mariel always says this thing about me. She goes, you have the nicest looking legs, but your upper body doesn't match.
What?
She just said that to me today. Sometimes she just destroys me and she doesn't even know.
But it's a compliment.
Yeah.
What? Like, why are you angry?
We went to go get like some Taiwanese like shave ice dessert. And she goes, you have really nice legs, but that stuff up there doesn't look the same. And she just goes into the store. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Are you my parents?
Yeah, I know. It's like a fucking like slight motivation. Yeah.
But she's always loving, but she just an observation. I understand because my legs are really slender.
Yeah.
They're like muscular. And it's only because I walk 8 miles a day.
Yeah.
So the calves are just fucking veiny and they're they're muscular. That's because I'm walking up hills for 8 miles.
It's like a Polynesian Korean thing.
Yeah, we just have big calves.
Big calves, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's weird when I'm at this point now where like I'm trying to understand like my relationship with food and why I have this certain addiction towards these foods. And sometimes it's really hard to process because after I eat this pasta, I'm just like, by the way, it's, if anybody who's out there who's like a dietitian, if you're thinking that I'm foregoing things in, in the name of, pseudo health, it's not that. I'm talking about when I eat pasta, there's like, you would think there was an Italian family of 5 waiting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like they're like, eat this for me.
Yeah, you put a Denny spaghetti in front of me, I don't give a fuck what day it is.
That's the weirdest thing about it. It's like, you know what I mean? Like the way I eat like pasta, it's like, you think it's for, fucking, Giuseppe, Giuseppe, you gonna have a little pasta.
So I actually read this book. It's called Sapiens, right? Mm-hmm. Incredible book. It's like an alien wrote a book about humanity. It's as if, an alien gave a book report about human history. So it's like looking at us like from 30,000 feet in the air and watching us what we do. And there's one theory about like our not dependence, but how we're both, fat energy and carb energy, right? Because as hunter-gatherers and cavemen and all that shit, we kill and eat meat and fat, right? But then every now and then, right, like fruits in nature would be pretty rare. You'd come across a fruit tree, right? They predict that they didn't just eat one.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have sugar back then and you had like one strawberry off some, bush or some shit, that sugar would ignite in your brain, right? Like, because I felt it too when I was on deep keto and I didn't eat sugar for like a year or some shit. And then my brother-in-law took me to M Grill and they have a fucking grilled pineapple.
Delicious, by the way.
Yeah. And when I ate that shit, I couldn't hold back my tears. I could feel
Japanese anime.
Yeah. I could feel my hair standing up. I can feel tingling in my fingers down to my legs and my toes. Like I felt the sugar high. I felt it. So they assume like back then, like the theory is that because you're in survival mode constantly eating meat and fat, that once you have that carb, your brain craves more, knowing that for survival, you have to stock up. So when you go eat meat again, you'll store that fat in your body because of all the carbs you ate. So it's called like the sugar gorge theory or something, where a caveman would see a tree and wouldn't just eat one, they'll eat all of it. So to this day, we get a pint of ice cream. We're not going to just do one scoop. We might eat the whole fucking thing and be like, what happened? How many times does that happen? How did I eat all this candy? How did I eat all this?
You say this now, dude. Literally, I bought this ice cream from Costco.
Yeah.
It was avocado ice cream. And in my mind, I rationalized, oh, this is healthy.
Avocado fat.
There was 4 pints of it, right?
Yeah.
It was gone in 2 days.
Right. And you're like, what the fuck happened?
And this, it wasn't me. It was Mariel. She goes, oh, you ate all the dark chocolate? Okay, at least I have ice cream. Yeah.
Full circle. Came back to bite you.
Empty freezer. Yeah. She was so mad. Oh shit. She's like, how do you eat this whole thing?
And then you're like, I don't know. That's a very human thing because of our nature to need to survive is to eat. That's why I stay away from sugar because I know I can't just have one.
That's the hard thing too. That's why I choose not to buy certain things in this household. I mean, she knows how to portion control so well. Like if she has, like she could eat like a half a tortilla and she goes, oh, I'm good. No, my friend.
That's crazy.
¿Por qué no? Are you crazy? I'm going to have, tortillas. I'm going to have, frijoles. We're going to have, arroz or, arroz con pollo. Whatever you talk about, I'm going to have.
You can't just have one.
Yeah.
That's my poor Mexican accent.
Híjole de la chingada. I'm going to eat everything, my friend.
Yeah.
Like, I am going to go to fucking town. That's why I don't go to taco spots anymore. It's not one taco. It's not two.
Like, I don't talk about this a lot anymore because that was in my past. But remember, when I first got here, I was telling you about my drug problems.
Yeah.
I swear to God, sugar is the next closest thing to cocaine.
Really?
Yeah. So I treat sugar like a narcotic because I know like sugar is just as addictive, if not more than cocaine.
Oh man, I'm telling you, dude. I understand. I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but I'll tell you this: when I reduce the amount of refined sugars.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm not on a keto diet, so I eat carbs. Right. But I'll eat, stuff with just fiber.
Yeah.
So if it's fruits, there's a lot of dietary fiber in it. I'll still have white rice, but I moderate it. I'm just not going ham on it.
Yeah.
But literally, like after a workout, and then I'll eat like, when you see like a video of somebody lost in the desert, and then they get a basket of food in front of them and you see them stuff their face. That's what I do to berries. Like, where's the fucking chef?
Yeah, because your brain can't stop.
Yeah.
Your brain can't stop. It craves it. It wants it. It's that addictive. So that's what I mean. Like a sugar addiction to me is the same as a drug addiction. The symptoms of a sugar addiction is obesity.
Yeah.
So like even LeBron James, like he's always looked fucking fit his entire career, right?
Yeah.
And then he did the zero sugar diet and he lost 20 more pounds.
That's crazy.
Of just like the body fat that's left all over his body and he got shredded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you, I know because you're comparing it to, wait, how did you start doing cocaine?
Let's say, so, I used to drink like a lot, right? A lot.
Oh, was that the balancer?
Yeah. So, years and years of drinking. And one night, it's like and it's Momo, obviously. And it's like towards the end of the night, I'm so drunk as fuck. And I'm like, fuck, like, I don't know if I can drive or some shit, right? And this guy, we both know him. He's like, hey, want to do a bump? Like, you'll be straight, right? I'm like, and because I'm so drunk, usually I would think about it. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like my first time. So I do a key bump and he was fucking right. I was sober. I was straight sober.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's like that shit on that Denzel Washington movie, The Flight.
Yeah, Flight, yeah.
He would drink so much, he would just do a bump of cocaine and he was straight.
And then you go back to drinking some more.
What is it? Why does that happen?
Because of people like we have our addiction issues and we just go hard. Like for a long time, I didn't know how to sit down and just have a beer. I had to get fucked up.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't just have one, right? Yeah. I couldn't just have a buzz and have a conversation. I just had to get blacked out drunk. So it's definitely like an addiction issue. It's a binging issue as well. Like where you work long hours and go all day sober, and once you get home or it's finally the weekend, you fucking stuff your brain full of chemicals.
Yeah.
Just to chill out.
Because I've never done cocaine before. What does it feel like?
Like a really great Adderall, like a fun Adderall. Like disco is actually good music. So the last time I did it, right, my big last hurrah, I went to Colombia and I got some real Colombian shit, some good shit. And you know that song, gasolina or whatever. Yeah. So gasoline, they make cocaine out of gasoline and coca leaves. That's why. So when it's like pure and it's good, you can smell the gasoline.
Oh, really?
When you don't, it's like chopped up so much with like baby formula or creatine or some white powder, right? And it gets chopped up when it gets to America, and then it burns your fucking nose. And like, when you get water up your nose?
Yeah.
Like you get a foreign substance in your nose and it burns.
That's what it feels like.
And you get bad cocaine, that's what it feels like. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So like I went to Colombia. It was fairly easy to get it off the street. We got a whole 8-ball. It's crazy because it's only this big as a rock, right?
Yeah.
And then when you start breaking it up, oh my God, it was endless. I did it every day for an entire week.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So what is it? Is it an upper?
It's crazy upper. So like, I love like trap, like hip hop, right? When on cocaine, it's a million times better. Then I went on Spotify and I looked for a cocaine mix. And they had a bunch of disco.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Oh my God, I get it. I get disco on it.
You're like, dude, disco's really cool.
Yeah. And then I go back through these 80s mixes and these 80s songs built off of cocaine. And it's like, this is some good shit.
That's why people like fucking on that shit, dude.
Yeah. No, I get cocaine dick. One time, like I was out partying and, met this girl and we were just drinking and then we would go to Ndorabang after and she had cocaine with her. It was a date.
Yeah.
And I was so fuck it, like whatever, we did it. But yeah, when we got back to her place, yeah, it's not hard. It's like not easy to get it up. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nuts, man. Like I've never been interested in doing like any hard drugs. I don't really like drugs in general as I drink this alcohol. But
socially acceptable drugs.
Like alcohol is different because when you're drunk, sometimes you're so drunk, you don't even know you're drunk. It feels like you're in control.
Yes. That's
the biggest difference. I think that's why to me, alcohol has been a little more tolerable because even though you're drunk, you still feel like you're in control.
And that's why cocaine can be dangerous. Like I said, like you eat one little fun-sized bar of candy from Halloween, right? That's not enough. You'll eat another.
Yeah.
And another, and another, and another. And soon, before you know it, you ate the whole bag of candy. Like cocaine, like some days, like you just can't fucking stop.
Oh, shit.
Like I had to start giving myself a timer, like a 30-minute timer between my bumps.
Oh, really?
Especially when it's that readily accessible to you. Like it's so addictive. Like you just keep jumping back.
Why'd you stop doing cocaine?
Well, the come downs are really bad too. If you're that high, the lows are really bad.
Does that fuck up with like, I know they were talking about some of the side effects with E.
Yeah.
Because it what is that part of your brain that causes euphoria? We can't remember. Yeah. Whatever. I'm not a scientist, all right, guys. But either way, that part of the brain that releases that chemical that creates euphoria and happiness, it gets overloaded so much that when they're off that, they're almost like depressed.
They're very depressed.
Yeah.
So like, because it really so much
serotonin.
Dopamine and serotonin.
Yes.
That it fucks up like your regulatory production.
It's the same thing that happens with people who take steroids. Yeah. They have to take estrogen to, all this other stuff.
Right. Yeah. So the balance is way off. So I know people who have a whole concoction of vitamins and minerals for when they drop E so that they can recover better. But then it's for the same reason I don't like to come down on E, although it's fucking great and fun to be on. Sometimes it takes like an entire week with the come down, like with how shitty I feel.
Oh, that payoff is terrible.
Yeah.
So that's why people get addicted to it, because they need to get rid of that feeling by using this drug.
Yeah. Because you're so low, and like, you know what? Cocaine does the trick anyway. It's a deadly cycle, like with a lot of drugs. Especially.
That's why I'm not a big fan of that's why I like CBD products, because, or even when you take Delta 8 things, like Delta 8, the high feels different, you know?
Yeah.
It's not the same, right?
Yeah.
And I've given you, gummies and stuff like that. It's a lot more controlled. It's a lot more subtle. Versus, you saw me at my worst, where I was in another universe.
Yeah.
Just like, what is time?
Yeah. You got fucked up.
I was fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
But what I found out is like, I found my happy medium.
Yeah. When you can handle your shit is when it works.
Yeah. I don't like THC edibles.
Yeah.
I don't like, what do you call it? So I was hanging out with Dan at Robin's place, right?
Yeah.
And he had a vape.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't realize those THC vape stuff. Dude, it's hella potent.
so strong.
Why do people? Why do people not,
something percent, bro?
why do people not tell me these things?
Yeah, you took a huge hit.
I took 2.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I took 2 fat fucking hits, and I'm sitting there, and our buddy Dan, he's like telling me about what's going on with his life, and he's opening his heart to me. And you know what? All I was saying in my head was, make sure that you look like you're paying attention.
Yeah.
I just kept saying it to myself in my head. If he finds out that you don't know what the fuck he's talking about, he's going to be crushed. Just nod and pretend like you know what he's saying. And I was just sitting there yeah, bro. I feel you. I get it. I was high as a motherfucker. I hated it.
Yeah.
I fucking hated it.
So you can't do the vape pens then.
Those things are fucking harsh, bro.
Yeah.
They're intense.
Yeah, that's like the level where marijuana is at right now. It's fucking hard.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And I just kept thinking, every time I have these experiences, I'm like, oh my God, it's the Shabu experience all over again.
Yeah.
And so I had it wasn't like the delay I had at the Shabu place.
Right.
The Shabu place was literally like a 10-second delay.
Yeah.
I was blasted.
You were gone.
Yeah. And it's just where picture inside of a picture inside of a picture, where literally I'm floating above telling you, look, I've been dead. I'm dead, dude.
You're like, why is everything so slow? That's what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, but when you find your happy medium, when you can control your high, like, look, Keith Richards, the guitarist for the Rolling Stones, has been on heroin for the past 60 years.
That's crazy.
But it's because he's controlled. He has the same dosage for the last 60 years.
Oh, wow.
That's how he functions. Ozzy Osbourne has this weird genetic, I don't know if I want to call it a disorder, but it's the reason why he can take such hard drugs and never die.
It doesn't fuck with him.
It's a genetic thing in him that, he just doesn't
he's a
won't
superhuman
die from it. Yeah, and he's taken everything off, But obviously I'm not here telling you guys, you guys should try cocaine. Like, no, it's bad. It's bad. I've seen people's lives ruined with it too. But I was trying to make the analogy between sugar with being bad.
I like smoking joints though.
Yo, you do.
Like the classic just fucking little fucking joint.
Yeah.
Because the way that it makes you high is way more subtle and it lasts a lot shorter.
Yeah.
So smoking with Robin. And I just, I was like, damn, I haven't done this in a hot second. I took a couple puffs. I'm like, this is normal.
Yeah.
This is how it should make you feel. It's almost undetectable.
Yeah.
Right. And it reminded me of this.
When you just sit and chill, you have a glass of wine or a little bit of like liquor, you can sit and chill, right? Yeah, that's when you can find that happy medium is like the right place. That's why I smoke marijuana too now, because all that other shit, I was going hard, obviously, I was in a crazy mental state, but where marijuana takes me is like where I'm not destroying myself internally. I'm not doing this shit because my life is so this and
Who was
that.
the first person that gave you cocaine? Oh wait, you mentioned like we know this person then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a friend in Seattle. But then, over time, like, especially like in K-Town, it shows up everywhere.
Well, like cocaine has become so accessible now.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of weird where, people used to have certain amount of judgments toward people who smoked weed. Right.
Yeah.
And now we have these weird situations where like literally in K-Town, I'm at like
Yeah.
people are just doing bumps in the bathroom. I'm like, dude, this wasn't like this like 6 years ago.
No.
Like, why the fuck is everybody doing cocaine now?
Dude, it's like, it is. it's made a huge comeback.
Yeah.
It's just the party scene, I guess, has changed, where it's just like the stigma behind cocaine isn't there anymore. I mean, The Weeknd, all of his songs are about cocaine, you know? Like,
dude, freaking funniest story ever. One of our friends that we know, the first time he ever did cocaine, he did it on accident. So
accident.
he was at a fucking lounge and he was dancing. I know this girl was cute. And then she was like dancing with him, like super close, grinding with him or whatever. And she was super close to him, like about to kiss him. And she kind of whispered in his ear. He goes, you want to do a bump? He's innocent boy.
He doesn't know what a bump is.
He doesn't know what a bump is. So
like
he was
a little bump and grind?
He goes, sure. And then she goes, just breathe in. He breathes in and then he's just like dancing or whatever. And everything becomes hella intense. And he goes, I did drugs. I think I did drugs. And he's such a clean guy. Yeah. And he said he runs into the bathroom and he just starts, holds his knees together. And he just starts freaking out. He's like, I did drugs.
Really?
Yeah. So I got drugged by some cute girl on a dance floor.
Yeah, I'm always on the moon. Like, the thing about cocaine is why it's dangerous is because it is fun.
Yeah.
Like, it is fun, but you do pay a price.
I think it's the scary part for me is when you said that the come down is so harsh that having to, like, yeah, if you know what can fix it, why not do it? It's like having a headache and not taking Tylenol.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Which is really, really, really scary.
The other thing is just deal with it. And then all of a sudden it's in front of me again another weekend, you know?
Yeah.
My sister actually told me a story because she works at a hospital. Like, she was coming out to have lunch and leaving, and there was a group of people doing CPR on a person in front of outside the driveway of the hospital, you know? And when she found out what happened was, like, one of the employees was eating lunch, having a sandwich on the bench in front of the hospital, and then started choking on it.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't breathe. And then, like, I guess later they found out he had a heart attack while having lunch. And it was because he had massive amounts of cocaine in his system.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I know this is such a sidetrack, but so two things happened actually in the past few days that I only just found out about. So Sacramento had its biggest mass shooting recently in my hometown.
Yeah.
Did you see that shit, right?
I didn't see it.
I think it was like 9 people that died, and it was after some kind of like Tyler, the Creator concert. But unloaded 100 rounds, bro. Fucking nuts. And then I find out through a friend of mine, this is somebody that I met once, but she was really, really close to this guy, and I met him too. Guy is he is the shit. Like, he's on his shit. He's like in production.
Yeah.
Just dope. Like, we worked on a project together and I met him and I'm like, this guy's fucking dope. I would love to like work with him again one day. My friend was moving and then he was helping her move and whatever. And I might be paraphrasing the story a little wrong just because it was so shocking to hear this. She basically calls him because he was supposed to either help her the next day to finish up. He doesn't pick up his phone at all, right? Doesn't pick up his phone, doesn't know what's going on. And then the next thing you know, she finds out through somebody else that the reason why he wasn't picking up his phone is because he died.
In the shooting?
He got shot up in the middle of night out in like the Burbank or Hollywood area. It's actually a news article, so you guys can read it up. So that's why I'm okay talking about it because it's out in public.
Yeah.
He got shot like 3 times in his car and he crashed into a car and then they just bounced and they killed him while he was driving.
Fuck. Was it like a drive-by, just gang initiation type?
Don't fucking know. This is 3:30 a.m. This guy's a full-grown adult. The sweetest, nicest dude ever. I'm talking about, there's absolutely no way this was like drug or gang involved at all. Like he's like one of those guys.
Yeah.
Shot 3 times, died in his car and it crashed. How fucking nuts.
What the fuck?
Don't know who did it. Literally don't know who did it.
Man, I mean, like that sounds similar towards like a few years ago. This fucking girl in Hollywood, I think it was in front of the Roosevelt Hotel. Somebody ran up behind her and blew her head off with a shotgun. Point blank shot. You know when you go point blank with a shotgun,
it's disgusting.
Obliterates.
Yeah.
He blew her fucking head off.
Why?
And ran away. So the cops were believing that it was like a gang initiation thing, that
he had to do it.
Go murder someone to get into this gang.
Why like that though, guy?
Yeah. Like, that's so fun. She was walking with her boyfriend. So it was a couple walking down the street. They turn off I think it's either Hollywood or Sunset, but where the Roosevelt is, down that alley, and they just fucking murdered
There's
her.
some weird things that happen, especially when it comes to like, so in Stockton, Modesto area, when I was younger, there was a gang that the initiation was that they had to cut somebody's Achilles tendon.
What?
Yeah, and that's how you got in the gang.
A stranger?
Yeah, a stranger. So I heard about this shit, right? And I'm like, the fuck, that's nuts. I don't know if it's true. And then lo and behold, there was it was on the news where they were warning people about when they pump for gas at gas stations late at night, because these guys would wait under the car and wait for you to go pump your gas and then cut your Achilles tendon. And that's how you get into the gang.
What the fuck, man?
Crazy, dude. This world's fucking, this is why I go home. I'm like Cinderella. Before the clock strikes 12, I'm home.
Yeah.
And if I want to drink, I'll drink at home for the rest of the night. I don't trust people anymore. People are fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Now I get it when my parents are like, hey, make sure that you come home early, because they're worried about shit like this because of the shit that we've seen in this world.
Yeah.
It's so fucking crazy. Like just this guy just driving at night and then getting shot to death. And nobody knows why.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking knows why. It might have been like late at night and, those guys probably, most hit him or some shit. He was like, fuck you. And then they shot him up. It could have been something as simple as that.
Could have been like road rage or some shit too, man.
It could have been, because I'll tell you this too. When I was I used to have road rage like crazy. And the reason why I stopped having road rage was, number one, I realized I'm a terrible driver.
Yeah.
So 90% of the time it was my fault.
Yeah.
And then the other shit was like, I was on the road and these cars almost like sideswipe me. I get fucking pissed off. And I look over and I go, fuck you, like that, right? This car slows down and there's a bunch of tatted up fucking Mexican dudes, right? Hanging out the car window. And they're like, what's up? And I just looked at them. I said, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just say
I'm so sorry. He's like, that's what I thought. Fucking pussy, you fucking bitch. And I was just like, you're right.
Yeah.
This is what I am.
That's my favorite. It's when you come in with the, yesterday Korea, today America.
Yeah.
That's how you get out of it.
They scared the living shit out of me, dude. And I'm like, oh, these guys would have fucking killed me, dude. Straight up. Yeah. I should have known by the car that they had, but they were just, I was feeling a little brave that
a little
day.
Coupe de Ville. Like, what are you thinking, bro?
Straight up.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, it was one of those old fashioned like Coupe de Ville, those long cars, those long U-boat cars.
Yeah.
And they were just hanging out the fucking, what's up, bitch? Fucking pussy. Just going off on me. And I just sat there just gripping the steering wheel. Just, oh shit.
When you see a Coupe de Ville that's too nice and kept, well, that's when you don't fuck with it.
Yeah. It's like, this is a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Man, stop full fucking bitch. They said all this shit to me. I just let it happen.
Yeah. But going back, I mean, like with all this fucked up shit too, like we were talking earlier about my mental health issues last summer. I actually had to put down the weed. I'd stopped smoking for like 3 months.
Oh shit. How was that?
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy, especially because I had nightmares every night.
What?
I had nightmares like every single night. So when you're a kid and you get nightmares, right? Like that's what I realized. Like you dream about monsters and scary shit, that the fears that you have, right? As an adult, like my dreams, my nightmares are like worst case scenario situations. Like I'll have dreams where my sister gets caught up in an avalanche and I'm desperately trying to save her and find her.
Really?
I'll have dreams where, I see somebody I hate, like in love with somebody that I love, that kind of shit. And then I start struggling with this anxiety in my dreams. So when I wake up, I'm fucking freaked out,
Oh shit. That's a little too real.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Crazy, vivid dreams. That's one of the biggest symptoms of marijuana withdrawal. Crazy, vivid dreams. But for me, they weren't like, oh shit, I'm flying or whatever. Like the dreams are so vivid that even though like I have a dream every single night, it's so real to me. Up to the point where my anxiety is so out of control in my sleep. When I say this is a dream, I instantly wake up. Oh
shit.
Yeah. And I'm sweating and like my heart's pumping and all that shit.
Dreams are so trippy too. Cause I'm not going to tell the story again on this podcast. I've said it twice, but the person that we talked about before, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
I had a dream about her and it was so forthcoming in who she is as a person that it was almost like a weird warning. Like somebody from another realm was warning me about this girl.
Yeah.
Because long story short with it, and I might have told you this too, but essentially went into this like dark forest and there was a mansion in it and it was all lit up, very pretty. And you go into this like mansion and I go into a room and it's like a kid's room and there's a gigantic robot standing there, right?
Yeah.
And he turns around and he has the voice of her manager at the time. And he looks at me and he starts malfunctioning and he just freaks out and falls over. And he's like freaking out and he goes, "Don't trust this person."
Yeah.
Like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? And I look at her and then she turns into a fox. And then we're running away because I'm freaking out, like because this gigantic robot is like giving me this like warning. And then we're driving away, and this person's a fox the whole time.
Just sly.
A sly little fox. And I eventually, long story short, I eventually get out. But that was like a very forthcoming dream about who this person is. And I still feel that way about that. And I've always felt that way. But that dream was so vivid to me.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like a representation of who this person is.
And I saw what you saw. I mean, I didn't have the same dream as you. I mean, like the feelings you had, like in real life about this person.
Because like for us and this person, it was early on for me.
Yeah,
like it was literally I met this person for like a few days, and I'm like, I don't like this person. Yeah,
I'll be honest. My first interactions with her was because I was starstruck.
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, this person's my friend. But over time. We read people really well. You know, we do filmmaking. Part of our whole thing is storytelling, and we can see a story being told when people are unconsciously telling it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because they're manipulating an idea that they have about their world.
Yeah.
So they just live that out almost to a delusional degree. Where it's only true to them, but it's still just the only truth in the world.
Yeah.
So we have a friend and he got divorced, right? And his wife has been trying to hang out with me.
Yeah.
Not in any kind of like intimate way or whatever, but in a sense that she still wants to be my friend. But for me, where I was caught up in this was like, I was so confused. Like, she's being really nice.
Yeah.
And she wants to work with me too. And I don't hate her because of the divorce or anything. But for me, I was like, is this normal? Like, because you married my best friend, but then I wasn't your best friend, right?
Yeah. I mean, those, I'm pretty sure anybody who's listening to this too, I wonder, it'd be dope to hear in the comments, like if you guys have been through something like this, like what is the proper etiquette? Because for me, I don't have emotion. It's okay.
So like you've obviously had many friends where they're dating each other and you're friends with both of them.
Yeah. Because for me, it all depends on how the relationship developed. But I say that now, but I'm a very loyal person and I'm always going to go with the person that I was introduced to that person with.
Right.
So it's like, you were an introduction because this person is my really close friend.
Yeah.
Where does my dedication lie?
Right.
And it's not to say that I don't cherish the moments that I had with the other person, but it's different.
It's different now.
It's like there was conditional. The condition was that this person was the gateway between our friendship. It's not that we didn't have good moments, but whenever we hung out, it wasn't like we were one-on-one. It was us as a group mainly.
Yeah.
So I don't really feel, and plus like friends do come and go.
Yeah.
And I have my stable core group of friends. So if this person goes, I'm not going to feel a certain way about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have any real personal beef, but then I was locked up in my loyalty to my boy.
Yeah.
This man took care of me when I was coming out of Washington. I'm his best friend and I'm practically his Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
This guy, his sole job for me is like to keep me alive, because he's been there at my worst, you know? And, they're split up and she's posting about her new boyfriend, it's pretty quick. To me, it's pretty soon or whatever, but I still don't feel any personal way about that because they're divorced. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. Right. But she's also like, reposting my stories because she thinks it's funny. She's tagging me in them. And I felt like she was giving this image that she and I were still friends. Like she's kind of giving this, hey, look at this new generation. Like, look how great this divorce turned out. I'm still friends with my ex's best friend. And I think, but I didn't sign up for this story,
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to make it go this way. I was just being cool. Like, you guys are broken up. But then I'm like being painted into this picture of hers, like that this divorce is so great or whatever. Or it's just like this truly amicable, modern, great divorce, which in a sense it is, but I don't have to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So that's where I was feeling. So a friend was visiting LA and she's divorced too. She was in a 10-year long relationship. So I asked her, like, I'm going through this thing. I'm like, did you try to be friends with your ex-husband's friends? She's like, what the fuck? No.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Like we got along, but we were friends through association.
Yeah. And she's like, straight up, I left the town and all the people associated with it. I don't need to be their friends, like kind of thing. So I'm like, why? Think in my head, why does this person want to be friends with me that badly after this? At least give me some time.
Yeah.
It's
weird. And I think it's, for you or anybody else, you're going to have to think smart. It's like, what's the idea of this? Is this because do you want to feel good about the divorce?
Yeah.
So it really feels like amicable to you?
Yeah. Do you need me to affirm that for you?
Yeah. Like, is that like, am I your token thing for your guilt or your emotions? Right? Because, it's not amicable. To be straight up with it.
Yeah.
It's not amicable at all.
Yeah.
So the idea that, for this person, if they think that it is, that's their reality. I can't say otherwise. That's what they believe.
Yeah. And we're not trying to get in a debate with them to try to convince them. It's not.
Yeah. If that's how she feels, that's how she feels.
Go live your life.
But objectively, it's not amicable. But I do see a lot of people kind of create their own narrative because they want to feel guilt-free. They want to feel good. And, the first thing is like, having conversations. It's just, it's very amicable. Nobody asked you.
Yeah.
Why'd you say that?
This podcast is brought to you by Raycon, my friend. Shout outs to Raycon for accompanying me in my everyday life, helping me get my fitness on, because Raycon stays in my ears and provide me entertainment. If you guys don't know what Raycon is, Raycon has these everyday earbuds that look, feel, and sound better than ever with optimized gel tips for the perfect in-ear fit. These earbuds are so comfortable and they will not budge, my friends. Trust me, 8 hours of playtime, 32 hours of battery life at half the price of other premium brands. I love them. Kickboxing, running, jogging, you best believe I got some Raycons. Go to buyraycon.com/brain today to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/brain to score 15% off. Buyraycon.com/brain.
The reality being too, like, why does it have to be 100% perfect?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. Divorces are messy.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That's the reality of the situation. That's fine.
Yeah.
But the idea that, when you tell me that she says, it's amicable, it's like, for who?
Yeah.
For you?
Because you found someone new immediately?
Yeah. And like, this is not judgment because I don't know their personal relationship like that, but I do know him. It's not amicable.
Yeah.
So for her to say that's a little odd, like it's weird. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that's where you could feel a little emotionally kind of caught in the middle because somebody in her, she might be honest in her own world, in her sense of whatever world that she's living in. She's like, oh, it's, it's the perfect divorce. It's great. So for her, when she does that, it's like, okay, I know that it's not.
Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, why do you need me to be around?
Yeah.
And once again, I think anybody would feel this way. You might feel like you might be getting used. Mm-hmm. And this person too, if they are that delusional, they might not even know what they're doing. They're just kind of carrying on about their ways, which is very odd. And I think it's smart for you too, because I'm all about loyalty for the longest time.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not so much just, in terms of friendship, loyalty isn't just because somebody has been around for a long time. It's how important this person to me has been to me in my life.
Yeah.
Right. For you and our friend, your guys' relationship is very, very fucking tight. Like how much he's been with you throughout every stage in your life. Yeah. That's a very special fucking bond.
Yeah.
And the idea, and maybe for her, what she has to think about too, it's like, it's not just, oh, we were both friends. No. this is a different bond.
Yeah.
No matter how much fun we had or whatever, you do not supersede our personal relationship. And it's not because he's asking it of you. It's what you're comfortable with.
So I think it's because maybe she doesn't have that kind of bond with another friend. And so with that, I can see that she would like to have that kind of relationship with me too. But I didn't have that fucking 22 years with her growing up, to be on that level. Really.
That takes time. But, like certain people too, they always fuck on the first date with friendships. Like they think that because you had a great interaction with somebody a few times.
Oh yeah, you had a great night going out somewhere. Just
dude,
crazy.
This is my friend.
Bombs. Yeah.
No. We just hung out.
Yeah, we went wild one night. Where we were drinking and shit. But like,
dude, I was at a bar. I talked to the bartender. He's not my friend, but we had a good time for those 10 minutes. Doesn't mean we're fucking friends.
Yeah.
And those are the people that I'm always a little bit scared about, like how they speak about me to other people. They're like, this is my friend. No, we are not friends. We are not. Don't say that shit.
It reminds me of this guy. Like, I met up with another friend from Seattle to go have dinner with his other friends. I don't even know who they are. So I'm like, all right, mutual friends. This guy's visiting, so we'll get together. Mm-hmm. And when I get there, this guy knows who I am. And he's dabbing me up. And I'm like, yeah, I got to be honest. I don't know who you are. And he was mad offended. Right? He's like, don't you remember when we went up to this guy's house? Remember, and we drank that night? Like this person was there, this person was there.
The dude, I was on cocaine.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Yeah, bro, I was fucked up at that time.
Yeah.
In that time of my life, I don't remember a goddamn thing. But this guy was angry that I didn't remember him.
The audacity, dude.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. That. Why do I have to be your friend either? Like, it's like, cool. Like, we're here, like, I'm reintroduced to you.
I'm so bad with remembering people and names sometimes because, when you're in this city too and you're out hanging out, you just meet a bunch of people when you're always drunk.
Yeah.
Dude, there's this one girl, she's very cute. It's our buddy Tom's friend. And she introduced herself to me once. I said, hi, whatnot. Apparently I was like very like nice and kind or something, a little bit flirtatious. I meet her again second time. What's your name again? What's your name? And she goes, oh, you met me. I was like, oh, that's right. I'll remember you, right? Third time. Hey, my name's David. Dude, let me tell you something. Reached out my hand. She just looked at me and walked away. Yeah. I never met her before. So I'm like, fucking bitch. I'm just like, what a bitch.
Yeah, people don't understand though. Like you meet 1,000 people a week sometimes, right?
So this one comes up to me and goes, bro, you fucking forgot her again? I'm like, who? Who are you talking about? I can't forget somebody I never met. He goes, dude, you met her like a bunch of times. I was like, she's super cute. I was like, yeah, this girl's super cute. He goes, dog, you literally told her last time that you will not forget her face. And you said, my name is David. I fucked up so bad. Man. But now I remember her.
Yeah.
Because we had a very special interaction of her walking away from me.
Right. It's those core memories.
Yeah. Sometimes I just want to see her on the street again just so I can reintroduce myself.
Yeah. She's gonna hit up Tom. Like,
she actually did see me once at an event and she just fucking snubbed me.
She just had it. She wanted to give it back to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say hi, right?
Right.
And she just snubbed me super hard. And I'm like, bitch.
Speaking of being snubbed, like the person we were talking about earlier, because I was just like, I need time. I'm out there with my boy. Like, I'm not comfortable, hanging out. And she gave her plea one more time, like, why don't we hang out and talk it through, like go have dinner? And I honestly just didn't respond.
Because
I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she blocked me. She blocked me on all social media.
Hey, sounds like you guys are pretty amicable.
Yeah, sounds amicable. Yeah, it's like, I'm like, it's cool. Like everything else, I have no personal issues with you, but divorce is divorce.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, and I don't want people to think that you're over here like, oh, I'm down for my boy. It's not, because he's not asking that, right? It's just what you're comfortable with. And that makes perfect sense too. It's like wanting to have your cake and eat it too. It's like, oh, well, we're split, but everything can be just the same.
Yeah.
Says who? What rule book is this?
Yeah.
People create these like rule books without even knowing what the fucking game is.
And that's more offensive to our buddy that she's divorcing. Like, he's the only one left in the gutter. I would rather sit in the gutter with my boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of loyalty like I grew up with, to be honest.
Yeah. But that's like also a good thing for, and by the way, this isn't like a toxic friend or something. This is a good person.
Yeah.
And so, when you stick up for people who, who have been there for you, it feels right. It makes sense. Not because you're expecting anything back from these people. It's just more like your moral compass guides you this way and it feels right. So you're going to do what you think, what you truly believe is right.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like even like it's just how it is. Like the time when Jason Chen yelled at you. You know what I mean? And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's just because it's the right thing to do and it makes sense.
Yeah.
You kind of protect your friends and you're mindful of their emotions and you're going to be mindful of the person who's the closest to you over the other person.
Yeah.
That's just all that it is. There's no personal feelings.
And there's a lot of things that ties us down by our principles, right? And this is one of those things like, I don't want to break your heart. I don't want to make you feel bad. And I'm not doing this with the intent to try to make you upset at me. It's just, this is me and this is where I stand. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah, like it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like don't take it personally.
It is what it is.
Yeah, man. It's such a weird situation. I wonder if other people have been through that, because I know my friends who've been through it and they, just like your friend, they're like, no, I have my own group of friends and these are the people and they have theirs. And if we see each other, it's cordial. We'll say hi. For this person, it was different. She did not like her husband, right? Because her husband at the time cheated on her with multiple women.
Yeah.
So it was, I didn't know.
Right.
Right. Because I'm her friend.
Right.
I'm not his friend. So I guess he was just out doing his thing. And she's amicable with his friends, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I asked her too, I was like, hey, do you think that his friends know? She goes, probably, but that I'm not married to them.
Yeah.
So they're gonna look after their boy. They have no reason to come and tell me, even though we've shared drinks or whatever. It's why would they step in and break up a family?
Right.
If I didn't know, I probably would have been happy not knowing and it would have been great. But the fact is he got caught and I knew.
Yeah.
So, which is very weird. I never thought somebody would have that kind of perspective about that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh,
that's a very fucking mature, logical way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Too, taking out her emotions. Probably because she's cried enough over all this shit.
She doesn't want to cry over him anymore. She doesn't want to she's moved on. I mean, this was like a couple years ago. So she's moved on now. She's remarried, has a new kid.
Right.
So it's like, she tossed her other kids. No, I'm kidding. But she's good to go. But divorce is such a messy thing. And I think it's the idea of people just wanting to have their cake and eat it too. But I would be kind of mindful and careful like you, where it's like, what is the purpose of us being friends?
Yeah, right.
Is it because you're really going to miss me? Is it because if I'm not around, you're going to feel devastated? Probably not.
Yeah. What is it with my affirmation, which only speaks on your insecurity? I'm sorry. You're exposing that right now.
And that's kind of weird, man. I don't know. Because I wouldn't think, that doesn't make any sense to me, because I honestly wouldn't think that she would.
Yeah.
Especially because the way your guys' friendship developed, you guys used to have had problems with each other.
A little bit.
Yeah. You know what I mean? There was like some friction here and there. You know what I mean?
I think, but the natural course of a lot of our friendships is taking a break with somebody and then coming back like everything's cool.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm not exactly down with that, but then I had an obligation to my fucking best friend who's married to her, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to stir up trouble. And I was like, I'm not going to hold grudges. And my boy loves this girl and I am going to show the same unconditional love that he does because he's my boy. I wasn't team him and her. I'm team this relationship as long as you guys together. But shit, once it's over, and I didn't have a hand in whether it was good or not. I just wanted to make sure everything was happy, but it's over now. I no longer have that obligation.
Yeah.
That's just truly how I feel. Like I was doing this for my boy.
You know what's so funny? So my best friend is now broken up with this girl, right? Met her once, I fucking hate her. And he knows how I am.
Yeah.
Right? He knows that I have tact, but I'm very straightforward.
Yeah.
More tact now than I was when I was younger, for sure. And you know this.
Yeah. We're talking about when it comes to brutal honesty.
Yeah. I'm way more tactful now. I'm a lot more careful with my words. And
you're not no Korean doctor.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sticking my finger up your butt like a puppet. And so I met her. They're broken up now. And she has this habit of trying to always play devil's advocate when she doesn't have to. Right?
What's with those people?
I don't know.
Why are you trying to stir up shit?
Exactly.
Well, the other side, I'm like, do you really believe it or not?
Yeah,
God. Like,
exactly. And so like, I only play devil's advocate on a podcast because we're talking about subjects that we don't really know about.
Yeah.
But when somebody tells you their personal story and they're opening up to you, for you to side with somebody else that you've never even met, it's very fucking odd.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody's asking you to take sides. And so when I was talking to her, telling her a very personal story about, and then we were talking for hours at this point, and telling her a personal story about my brother when he went through his breakup. And, he was going through it at the time. And I was telling her that this girl was kind of crazy. Like, she was a bit of a psychopath, and I know because I met her. Yeah. And, and I'm not going to get into details of his breakup, but it was pretty fucking messy.
Yeah.
And then she, out of nowhere, for some fucking girl power reason, starts defending this girl. And this girl, like, damn near could have ruined my brother's life.
Yeah.
And I stopped and I looked at her and I was like, hey, can I ask you something? I was like, in what sense do you think that it's appropriate for you to vehemently defend somebody who abused my brother?
Yeah.
Right? When you've never met my brother and I'm not asking you to break this down like you're a detective. I listened to your personal story, your trials and tribulations, and I thought I could open myself up to you. And now you're over here saying that, basically insinuating that my brother's an asshole.
Yeah, like he deserved it.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, because when women did that, and she goes, as somebody who's in counseling, I'm a counselor, and I looked at her, and I was like, I know counselors too. By the way, I was a youth minister.
Yeah,
you don't ever go ahead and then disregard somebody's trauma in a conversation. That's like a first no-no that you never ever fucking do. And that's what you're doing. And I was like, what gives you the right? And she just sat there, and I started lecturing her about, number one, like the fact that you're sitting here disregarding and just being extremely dismissive of my personal feelings in this very personal conversation. And she gets really quiet.
Yeah.
Right?
And then have the audacity to give yourself the authority because you're a counselor.
Exactly. And I told her, I was like, do people like it when you go ahead and say, hey, because I'm a counselor, that you feel like you have the right to just say whatever the fuck you want? Like, you could psychoanalyze me? I never asked for that.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, we're just having a regular conversation, and this is how you carry yourself. I'm pretty sure that you probably have a lot of personal issues with having friends. And I think that got her, because she doesn't have a lot of friends. Well, lo and behold, guess what? I'm no idiot. And I think it hit her. She starts crying. Right? And she goes like, I'm sorry. I didn't even know I was doing that. And I was like, well, you were. And it was super disrespectful.
Yeah.
And so I was telling her, I was like, okay. It's like, I just feel like because, your brother, I'm a black woman and he's dating a black woman. I was like, she's white.
What?
Oh, she goes, oh. I'm like, oh, so you're racist now too.
So she didn't even know who this girl was?
So she just wanted to defend her because she just assumed that he was dating a black woman. She goes, a black woman, I got to defend her. It's like, I was like, I understand all that stuff, but no.
Yeah.
Like, I literally just told you my brother just went through some traumatizing shit, and you immediately defended this woman and just, started, blaming my brother who's a victim.
And she doesn't even know who this person is.
No, doesn't know who this person is.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, why do you do that? And then she couldn't even explain herself. She goes, I don't know. And then the funny thing is like, as she's crying, she's apologizing. She goes, this is probably, I didn't realize I had this behavior. I didn't mean to make you feel that way, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like asking her, I was like, do you do this to a lot of people? Because I'm pretty sure this isn't the first time. And I was a little drunk too, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
And
so because you're keeping it fucking
I'm
real.
Going, like right there to her.
You're questioning her existence.
Let me tell you something. My best friend's hilarious. I'm talking to his girlfriend like this, right? And I look at him and he just goes, he gives me the fucking power sign. You know what I mean? The fucking right on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I'm walking to the car and I'm like, hey, yo, what the fuck is with her, right? He goes, bro, I've been talking to her about this fucking crazy behavior that she has. Like, she doesn't have a lot of friends because she always does this shit. Yeah. She always has to like try to make herself like she's above people, as if she's giving people insight on shit. He goes, I tell her this all the time, but it doesn't mean shit. And he goes, that's the first time she had somebody stop and then check her ass on the spot. And I just denoted everything that she was doing, and she didn't have anything to say back. And he was like, dude, he goes, honestly, that shit felt good.
Yeah, you totally vindicated your bro there too.
Yeah.
Like he was right the entire time.
And I was like, is this what you've been going through this whole time?
Yeah.
Like while you were with her, he's like, yeah, it's tough. But he loved her at the time. But I told him, I was like, hey bro, I fucking hate her.
Yeah, you let people know. Yeah. You let me know.
Yeah. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be respectful because she's your girl, but I don't fucking like her, bro. Yeah. And I was like, if that's how she talks to you, I don't fucking like her.
Yeah.
And they broke up. because of that type of behavior.
Yeah.
And she needs to go through a lot of therapy for that shit. But it's hard to give somebody therapy when they feel that they're in the counselor position and they know better.
Yeah, like they've done self-therapy because they studied the books.
Exactly. And that is the worst. Those people are legit, like they're borderline personality disorder. You can't help somebody fix a problem when they don't recognize it as an issue or a problem. And that's what he was dealing with this whole fucking time.
Right.
But for me, I don't give a fuck if that's my best friend. Because this is what I told her at the end. I was like, I don't think you understand this. That's my best friend.
Yeah.
Like, I'd kill for this guy. For the rest of your life, if you guys get married, you guys have kids, I'm right there. I was like, that means that you and I have to get along.
Yeah.
I'm uncle. I'm gonna be around. Like this guy Gabo is damn near just as close to me as my blood fucking brother. I love this guy to death. He has been there for me for anything. So I'm gonna be around. You and I have to get along. You cannot speak to me that way, like ever. I don't think you should speak to anybody that way in that, condescending tone where you feel like you could be dismissive of everything because of the job position that you have. And as a counselor, I have friends who are counselors, they would never do that.
Yeah.
And I said my piece and lo and behold, they broke up. And when he told me that shit, I was like, I fucking hated that bitch. He goes, I know. He goes, I know you did. He goes, I just got to go, he has to, figure it out himself. And listen.
There's so many guys who are sitting there waiting and hoping that their boy, like their best friend will come to their, I don't know about senses, but like really have to face that real
She had great qualities too. Everybody does. She has great qualities too. She's really pretty, I guess. I'm trying to think of other things. But just talking to her and just like I kind of got worried. I was like, how are you a counselor? How are you a fucking counselor? Especially because I went through counseling a lot for anger management and none of my counselors talked to me like that. Right. They would never, ever be dismissive about like personal stories. And they just try to make you feel bad and like make me judge my own fucking blood brother. Are you out of your fucking mind? And there was no listening point. It was just immediate rebuttal. No listening. Didn't even listen and just interrupted and rebutted everything I was trying to say. Right. I was like, what are you rebutting? Like, there's
like who's here arguing with you?
We're not discussing about the creation of man.
Yeah, I totally just opened up to you and you're just like shutting that shit down.
Yeah, after I just heard her fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see me going here like, well, actually,
Actually, as a man?
Yeah. She was mansplaining to me and shit. Yeah. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? Sick of that shit, man. Well, guys, that wraps up this episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. Hope you enjoyed this conversation talking about getting over like drug addictions, dealing with like divorced friends. This is all real fucking talk. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have gone through this.
And we're still a little lost about it too.
Don't fucking know.
We just have the questions.
Yeah. We're all trying to figure it out, man. You could catch Ed at Ed Park VP. Breakfast at Momo's.
Bible study at Momo's.
Breakfast. Not pickle pa.
Yeah.
Bible study at Momo's.
Yeah.
I said
breakfast at Momo.
Fucking Ted, you said
they weren't open until like 4 p.m.
Fucking Tedgy ass motherfucker.
You're ready to eat.
Bible study.
Yeah.
Whenever he gets that going, you can follow that and you can catch us, Genius Brain every Sunday at 12.